Hey, horror fiends. It's that time of year again. The nights are getting colder, the pumpkins are glowing, and the shadows outside your window? Yeah, they don't look quite right, do they? Halloween is creeping up fast, and with it comes one of the most twisted, blood-soaked gifts horror fans could ask for. VHS Halloween. The trailer just dropped, and it's everything we hoped for. Chaos, monsters, blood, and a whole lot of Halloween nostalgia turned into pure nightmare fuel. This isn't your cozy, candy-filled Halloween special. It's the kind of anthology that chews up the holiday spirit and spits it back out, dripping with gore. Welcome back to Your Nerdy Show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. So, lock your doors, grab your candy stash, and let's dig into every creepy, gory frame of the VHS Halloween trailer, because this year, trick-or-treating might just get you killed. The VHS Legacy, a quick recap. Before we get into the juicy details of the new film, let's set the stage with a quick trip down memory lane. The VHS franchise kicked off at Sundance in 2012, instantly becoming a cult favorite. The format was simple but brilliant, an anthology of found footage shorts, all tied together by a loose framing device involving mysterious VHS tapes. Each tape contained a story more twisted and disturbing than the last. Over the years, we've seen some truly iconic entries. VHS 2 in 2013, which many fans still consider the peak, with segments like Safe Haven. VHS Viral in 2014, which went more experimental and chaotic. The franchise revival in 2021 with VHS 94, bringing the series to Shudder and giving us fresh blood in both the directors and the scares. Since then, the series has dropped a new entry every October. We've had decade-themed horrors like VHS 99, VHS 85, and the sci-fi horror spin VHS Beyond last year. Now, for the first time ever, the franchise is leaning fully into Halloween as the central theme. And, honestly, it's about time.
You made me look great! I hope you die!
Why Halloween? Halloween is basically the perfect backdrop for a VHS movie. The holiday already comes with built-in horror vibes. Masks, costumes, trick-or-treating, haunted houses, and that cozy but creepy sense of nostalgia. It's a season where anything can feel slightly off, and that's the sweet spot where VHS thrives. So, with VHS Halloween, we're getting 6 shorts, all centered on Halloween night, directed by a stacked roster of filmmakers. Bryan M. Ferguson, Casper Kelly, Micheline Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman, Alex Ross Perry, Paco Plaza, and Anna Zlokovic. Each has their own distinct style, from absurdist horror comedy to raw trauma-driven nightmares. And the trailer makes it clear they're pulling no punches.
This Halloween, Shudder invites you to experience
Trailer breakdown, spooky vibes, and gory chaos. Now let's dig into the trailer itself. It's just over a minute long, but it's packed with quick flashes of insanity that give us a taste of each segment. The teaser opens with an intentionally corny narration, promising the 6 spookiest stories in a spooktacular anthology the whole family can enjoy. Obviously, that's a total fake-out. If you know VHS, you know this is not family-friendly material. This intro feels like a parody of those old VHS commercials, complete with that retro, coming-soon-to-video vibe. It's the perfect wink to the franchise's roots. But after that cheeky opening, the trailer slams the pedal to the floor and gives us chaos. Let's break down the key moments.
spooktacular anthology the whole family can enjoy.
The Halloween setup. The first shots are deceptively wholesome. A mom carving pumpkins in her kitchen, kids scooping up candy, neighbors hanging up decorations. It's pure suburban Halloween nostalgia. But, of course, in true VHS style, things are about to go horribly wrong. We also catch a glimpse of a sign reading, Dr. Mortis's House of Horrors. This feels like a huge clue. It could tie to Micheline and R.H. Norman's segment, Home Haunt. They're known for tackling trauma and revenge in their work, so I wouldn't be surprised if this haunted house attraction turns out to be something far darker and more dangerous than anyone expects. There's also a brief but striking shot of a kid in a mad scientist costume. Big goggles, wild grin, totally classic Halloween archetype. But, knowing VHS, there's no way this is just an innocent kid in a costume. This could tie to Bryan Ferguson's short, Diet Phantasma, which, based on his past work, might involve kids or trick-or-treaters forced into some gory nightmare. Then the horror kicks in. We see a bloodied hallway with teens in costumes running for their lives, a guy in an orange jumpsuit being electrocuted in what looks like a prison, a cop suddenly floating in the air, possibly possessed, a woman screaming about killing people during a mugshot session. These prison set visuals feel straight out of Paco Plaza's Ut Supra Sic Infra. The Latin title translates to As Above, So Below, and Plaza is one of the creators of the Wreck films, masters of claustrophobic demonic chaos. A prison overrun by supernatural forces? Yeah, that sounds exactly like his wheelhouse. Creepy costumes and candy monsters. One of the creepiest shots in the trailer is a trick-or-treater in a Sam-style costume. You know, like Trick or Treat. They're holding up a candy basket, but the vibe is all wrong. Something about it feels threatening, as if they're collecting something more sinister than candy. Could this be Ferguson's segment again? Given his past Halloween horror short Pumpkin Guts, it tracks. Then we get a complete tonal swerve. Candy monsters. Yep, you heard that right. We see what looks like actual walking, talking candy bars and gummy worms waving goodbye or being fed into a machine. The background has posters that say yummy and fun size. This screams Casper Kelly's Fun Size. If you've seen his Too Many Cooks or Adult Swim Yule log, you know he thrives in absurdist horror comedy. Expect his segment to start funny and end in absolute nightmare fuel. There's even a shot of a Santa Claus figure looming over a bloody scene. Could this be Kelly blending Christmas and Halloween together? If so, it might be a teaser for what's next in the franchise. Red-eyed monsters and baby-clothed terrors. Now for the nightmare fuel, the trailer shows a figure with glowing red eyes wearing what looks like baby clothes, attacking a woman. This image is pure nightmare fuel. This could belong to Anna Zlokovic's Coochie Coochie Coo. She directed Appendage, a Hulu original that leaned hard into body horror. A monstrous baby figure absolutely fits her style, warping something innocent into something grotesque. It could also tie to Alex Ross Perry's Kid Print, depending on how literal that title is. If it's about kids' souls trapped in adult bodies or vice versa, the red-eyed figure could be part of that experiment. Either way, this is one of the creepiest images in the whole trailer. We also catch a scene where a hazmat-suited figure sprays sparkling blue gas in the same prison room we saw earlier. Could be some kind of failed experiment or supernatural containment attempt. Plaza again? Almost certainly. Crypts, crucifixes, and executions. Toward the end, the trailer drops some gothic imagery. A group of ghouls in a crypt, a kid in a bumblebee costume fighting with a priest over what looks like a crucifix or maybe even a candy bar, an executioner chopping off a head with an axe in a dungeon. These moments feel very old-school horror, almost medieval at times. They could be part of the Norman's home haunt if the haunted house setting escalates into supernatural territory. Or maybe Zlokovic is leaning into surreal religious horror here. Either way, it looks brutal and bizarre in the best way. The directors and their segments. Let's recap the lineup and what we can expect. Diet Phantasma by Bryan M. Ferguson. High-concept gory horror with Halloween archetypes twisted into monsters, likely tied to the trick-or-treater and mad scientist kid. Fun Size by Casper Kelly. Absurdist candy-themed nightmare. Living candy monsters, a touch of humor, and then total carnage. Home Haunt by Micheline Pitt Norman and R.H. Norman, a haunted house attraction that hides a darker reality, possibly tied to Dr. Mortis's House of Horrors. Kid Print by Alex Ross Perry, psychological horror potentially about identity, children, or possession, could link to the red-eyed baby-like figure. Ut Supra Sic Infra by Paco Plaza, supernatural horror in a prison, complete with possession, electrocution, and chaos. Classic Plaza intensity. Coochie Coo by Zlokovic, body horror and creepy baby imagery. Expect something deeply unsettling and grotesque. Theories and speculation. Here are working theories based on the trailer. Ferguson's diet Phantasma might feature a trick-or-treater collecting souls or body parts instead of candy. Fun size will likely start silly. Kids, candy, commercials, and then total absurdist horror. The Norman's home haunt could use the haunted house as a metaphor for buried trauma or revenge. Perry's kid print might explore the idea of identity theft on a supernatural level. Children trapped in adult forms. Plaza's Ut Supra Sic Infra seems to be demonic horror set in a prison, pure claustrophobic terror. Zlokovic's Coochie Coo could be a body horror nightmare that twists childhood innocence into monstrosity. And like always, there's probably a framing device. Maybe the Tom Adkins look-alike shown in the teaser, watching cursed tapes. Why VHS Halloween feels special. This entry feels unique because it's the first to embrace Halloween head-on. The nostalgia, the costumes, the candy, and the inherent spookiness of the season are perfect for the found footage anthology format. The trailer balances cozy fall vibes with sheer terror. One second you're watching a kid grab candy, the next you're watching someone get electrocuted in a demonic prison. That's the beauty of VHS. It's unpredictable, chaotic, and unpolished in a way that feels more real and scarier. With directors like Plaza bringing intensity, Kelly bringing absurdist comedy, and fresh voices like Zlokovic and the Normans pushing new boundaries, this anthology promises to be one of the most varied and wild yet. What's next for VHS? VHS Halloween premieres October 3rd, 2025 on Shudder after debuting at Fantastic Fest in September. If the pattern holds, we'll get another installment next year. Could it be Christmas themed? Valentine's Day? Maybe even a summer camp slasher style VHS. The possibilities are endless, and that's what keeps this franchise exciting. It's a sandbox where directors can experiment without limits. Our nerdy thoughts. So there you have it, a full breakdown of the VHS Halloween teaser trailer. It looks like a bloody love letter to Halloween, packed with monsters, haunted houses, candy horrors, and demonic prisons. I'm personally most hyped for Casper Kelly's Fun Size and Paco Plaza's Ut Supra Sic Infra, but honestly, every segment looks like it could deliver something unforgettable. What about you? Which segment are you most excited for? Do you think the Santa Claus tease means we'll get a Christmas-themed VHS next year? Drop your theories in the comments. I'd love to hear them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss our horror deep dives. Until next time, keep it creepy. And remember, on Halloween night, the candy might not be the only thing that's sweet.
Trick or treat!
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.